Dobbs Davis is a man who wears many hats within the sailing world. So many hats, in fact, that it's hard to classify him into one category. He's a professional sailor at times. He's a certified U.S. sailing judge, umpire at times. He's been involved with the development of the new HPR class. He's down here in Key West helping out with the 52 Super Series, doing some television production, video production. Dobbs, first and foremost, kind of tell me why you're involved with so many realms of sailing. I mean, I know you, and I've known you a long time, and I know you like to help the sport along, but it's just so many different things you do.
Well, racing, of course, is my first love. Going on board the boats is fantastic. What's great is that we've seen an evolution of boats. Now with the HPR class of high performance, the harder you work, the better you are, the more the boats reward that. But the other reason I get involved in the other elements is just to help promote that, to help promote better design, better construction, better organization, to make it easy for owners and sailors to come play this game.
Now, obviously, you're a very fine sailor in your own right. How often do you get out there and crew and sail these days? Per year, how many days do you think you're actually sailboat racing?
Not enough, Bill. Not enough. This other work is really time-consuming, to be honest. I have a family at home, and so I really have to be very specific about how I spend my time away. But unfortunately, it is a lot of time away, and everybody who's a pro sailor has to struggle with those same issues. And frankly, a lot of my sailing is overseas. I do a lot in Europe with the ORC group. It's not known here in the U.S., but will become better known through ORC. But I've been racing FAR 400s and TP52s and a whole bunch of really fun boats, but mostly in Europe.
Now, let's talk about it, the HPR class. You and Steve Benjamin, the North Sales professional, have kind of been shepherding this through, kind of came up with the idea, have developed it significantly over the past year. Kind of just tell me, first and foremost, what was the genesis behind the idea?
Well, the genesis was that there is, or I should say, there's a few different rating rules out there. They are very good at what they do in various ways. HPR was an idea to try to rate high-performance boats specifically. In other words, it's not a catch-all rating rule to get all boats and make them fairly rated and have even performance on handicap. It was really targeted for high-performance boats. The genesis of it was here in the U.S. because that really didn't exist. However, it has evolved now to where there's a very good partnership with ORC in Europe, and we've got several news things that are going to come out shortly, but basically ORC is going to manage HPR around the world. U.S. Sailing is going to do it here. The rule is simple. It's on a spreadsheet. There's only 13 or 14 measurement parameters, but the boats really do have to be high performance. And being on a spreadsheet means it's public.
Right.
It's all accessible. It's no secret factors. In fact, there's a BPP behind it to get to where the parameters are for the rule. But that's one beauty that we really like, is that openness.
I remember last year here in Key West, we were first talking about it. You all were kind of getting organized. Are you amazed how far you've come in a year? I think you're on version 4 here for Key West 2013. Are you pretty pleased with how it's evolved at this point?
We're really pleased, Bill, to have 9 boats here. In fact, we had 10. We had a 10th boat have to drop out, unfortunately, at the last minute. But to go from being a concept a year ago to now being a full-fledged rating rule with one of the biggest classes out on Division 1 is fantastic. We love it. Yesterday, in that sort of light wind, they had great racing. Spooky and Decision did very well. They're the biggest and fastest boats in that class. But they've also been sailing the boats more, and they've been practicing, and they have their teams developed. So, it is a little bit of an arms race for sure, right? High-performance boats are going to be the best sailors, the best gear, the best technology.
Sure.
But just looking at yesterday, the FAR 400s had a great time, GP42, and I think today we'll see a lot more from that Care 40. I think they're going to come into their own with this stronger breeze.
Can you and Steve Benjamin, this week of racing, will help you a lot with your rule and just kind of looking at how things work? Whenever you have a regatta like this with a number of different designs, does it help you along with the rule?
That's a really, really good question, Bill, and I'm glad you asked that. We are an open rule, which also means we're open to input.
Right.
We're constantly recalibrating. There's a balance there. You don't like to change rules too much because then people think you're moving the goalposts. those.
Right.
But we're still in an evolutionary phase. We're still seeking input. We have a meeting tomorrow night to ask for input from owners, designers, industry people, and it's coming. And there's really some growing momentum on this.
Now, you're also here helping out with the 52 Super Series and doing some production work. Kind of tell us a little bit about what you all are doing here in Key West with the 52 Super Series and the team that you have here videotaping and providing commentary and live streaming video.
Well, the 52 Series is everybody will acknowledge is the highest professional racing of this kind of sailing. I mean, it's full production quality. Start with roots in the Audi Med Cup over the last several years. That's evolved now to be a little bit smaller group, but the same production qualities are there. So they have a full PR team. They're doing daily TV shows. There's video snippets coming in, social media. What I'm doing is actually doing the virtual eye.
Right.
There's a graphic program that takes input from the boats, the tracking input. The virtual eye guys are here from New Zealand. They put that into a graphic format, and then I do a voiceover, throwing to my colleague Andy Robertson, who's out on the water. And basically, we give a little show in graphic form. I wish we had the budget to be like the Med Cup and have a $500,000
Right.
gyro stabilized FLIR with a satellite uplink, and you know, we don't have the resources to do that here. But we still are able to provide some live entertainment for those that are following.
And you were here yesterday with the first day of racing. You're back here on land doing that. How did it go? Did it work out pretty well yesterday, or you got some bugs to work out?
No, well, actually we did. We had a good show. We're going to improve every day. We had several followers. We had actually some nice input coming, and so far everything's good. But I think every day we'll have improvements. Today we're going to try to do more interviews, get some perspectives from other than Andy and myself, and then help spice up the show a little bit.
All right, thank you, Dobbs Davis.